everyone, how you doing today? My name's Eric. As always, I want to thank you for taking a couple minutes and checking out my video today. On this episode of Smo'King, I'm going to show you how to make Instant Pot BBQ Pulled Pork. Now, pulled pork is one of my favorite things to make, and if I'm usually making it, and if I have the time, I cook it the more traditional way on one of my smokers, whether it's a kettle grill, my smoke hollow, a cabinet smoker, or hanging it from hooks in my pit barrel. Each method adds a delicious smoky flavor, that nice smoke ring and that beautiful crust on the outside that just adds to the flavor. But all three of those methods take a very long time because you're usually doing it for at least 6 to 10 hours. And I don't have that much time. We're going camping in a couple days, and we decided we wanted to bring some pulled pork that I could heat up on my camping stove in a saucepan to make a delicious meal. And I'm like, man, I don't have enough time. I got a lot of stuff going on the next couple days. My wife got this Instant Pot a couple months ago during the Amazon sale. And we've cooked a couple things in it, and I have to say I've been pretty impressed, but I'm really going to give it a test now by trying to see how well it's going to do pulled pork. So I looked all through the internet. I found a very basic recipe. I got around an 8-pound pork shoulder here that I purchased this morning, bone in. And we're going to add some basic ingredients: salt, onion, pepper, garlic powder. We're going to pour in some Coke and some barbecue sauce. We're going to pressure cook it on high for around an hour and a half, and we're going to see how it turns out. You're going to be experiencing this with me in real time because I really have no idea. And if it doesn't turn out great, you know, I'm sure it's not going to be as good as if I cooked it the traditional way. But, you know, judging from people's reactions online who have used the Instant Pot to cook it, everyone says it does a great job, so I'm hoping that's the case. But you know what? Stick around. I'm going to do this step by step. We'll see together how great it is. Let's get cooking. Alright, one thing I want to let you know too, because I'm learning the Instant Pot, I am by no means an expert, but here's the actual pot that goes inside, okay? And there's a maximum fill line right here for pressure cooking. You can only fill this up 2/3. So because of that, I have sliced my 8-pound pork butt into pieces here, and I think this is about all I'm going to be able to fit inside the pressure cooker. So I got around another big chunk here that I'm just going to freeze for a later date. Maybe I'll cook that on the smoker, or if I like it, maybe I'll do it on this. So what I'm going to do first off, we're going to take the pork like this, and we're just going to apply a good amount of salt on both sides. And we're just going to let it sit here for a second while I get the rest of my ingredients. The cool thing about the Instant Pot, similar to you know, slow cookers, is you just throw everything in. I love that idea, you know. Only bad thing about the Instant Pot is you can't smell it like you can in the slow cooker. I love having those flavors kind of fill the house as it's cooking. So we're just going to put some salt because this is going to help tenderize the meat a little bit. Not too much, just a nice coating. Just like that. All right, perfect. So now we're going to mix the liquid ingredients here. I have 1 can of Coke, or 12 ounces of regular Coca Cola. Now you can use Diet Coke, you can use Dr. Pepper. I'm not putting any sugar in this. I don't like things real sweet, so the sweetness in the cola here is going to serve as my sugar. If you like it a little on the sweet side, you can add you know, 1/3 cup of brown sugar if you'd like. Okay, next I got 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. We're going to add that in there as well. Give it that little tanginess we want. Okay, I got 2 teaspoons, actually 1 teaspoon of onion powder and 2 teaspoons of garlic powder we're going to add. And then barbecue sauce. It calls for 2 cups, so that's like almost a full bottle, but I'm going to do maybe 2/3 of it. I can always add more. And this original recipe, we'll stir it real good. The original recipe, like I said, called for 3 or 4 pounds of pork, and it says to cook it for 45 minutes. I was going to do it for an hour and a half because I was like doubling up on the amount of pork, but then I realized I couldn't fit it all in here. So I'm going to still go for, I'm going to set it for, I say 50 minutes. Give it 5 extra minutes. So then we have our pork here, ready to go. We're just going to pour this mixture on top. And let me look at the fill line here. Where's my... Yeah, I'm still around an inch below the max fill line, so we're perfect. Okay, let me drop this in the Instapot. We'll set it. We'll be back in a second. All right, so I put the pot in the Instapot. We're gonna put on the lid now. Make sure the steam vent is closed. So we're gonna do pressure cook, like I said, high pressure cook for 50 minutes. Let's do 50 minutes. We'll check it at that point. If I'm able to shred it with a pair of forks relatively easy, it's done. If not, I might have to cook it a little bit more. I didn't weigh how much pork it is, but I think 50 minutes should do it. And then we, yeah, pretty much, there we go. Got to wait a little bit for it to build up pressure. You know, this is a great thing about this Instapot, just like the slow cooker. I love the fact you can throw everything in there, and then you're going to have a delicious meal when it's all done cooking. So we'll be back shortly. We'll let the Instapot do its magic. All right, beverage review time. Delirium Red. It's a Belgian ale with cherry and elderberry, brewed from Belgium. That's what I'm having. Looks pretty good. Never tried something with like this, so it's probably going to be pretty cool. And here's my son Kyle. Say hi.
Hi.
He's got something that we discovered on our way back from Vegas at Alien Jerky. Cicero Beverage Company. This is salted caramel root beer. Cicero's a city. Is it a street maybe? City, I think, in Chicago. Suburb. Anyway, there we go. So you love root beer. You like caramel?
Yeah.
Okay, well maybe.
Let's do this.
You're going to have a salted caramel root beer. I don't think of any other company I've ever heard of makes this, so. Alright.
Shout out to Jonas. I have no idea why.
Alright. Let's see what this is. Oh, this is like red. Wow. Reddish brown? Wow, there's some cherry going on in this. Even the foam is kind of red. Wow. Okay, I think I'm gonna be trying something here that I've never tried before. I've never seen something like that. Alright. How's yours smell?
Really caramely.
Mine smells a little bit like cherry. Okay, let's go. Cheers. No, come on. Thanks again for watching my video, guys. I appreciate it. Cheers. Wow. Wow, first it was a little malty. Second sip, it's a little sweet. And now it's kind of tart. You can definitely taste the cherries. Wow. It's sweet, but it's kind of balanced out by the hops. I've never tried anything like this before. It tastes like cherry beer. It's the best way I could describe it. Very tart, like a black cherry. Wow, interesting. All right.
This is really good.
Is it? Can you taste the caramel?
It's really caramely, just like it smells.
Really?
I do taste, it is salty.
Can I have a sip?
I can taste a little bit of root beer every now and then, but mostly just tastes like caramel.
Ooh, that does have a caramel taste. But it tastes like root beer underneath it. Wow, we both have some pretty unique drinks here. I don't think I've ever had a root beer like that, and I've certainly never had a beer like this. Alright guys, we got the pork cooking here. We're going to enjoy the beer. We'll be back in a little bit, shred this up, and see how it tastes. Till then, cheers. Cheers, Kyle. See you in a little bit. Alright, I was supposed to release the steam at 10 minutes. I'm 4 minutes late. But here we are. We're just going to move the vent over here. Whoops. There we go. Just click the 15 minutes. It should be fine. So we'll let the steam escape, and then we'll check out how easy the pork is to shred. If it's looking pretty good, it might be done. If not, maybe we have to give it a little bit more time. But all right, it took around 3 minutes for all that steam to vent. It says 19 minutes on the thing. Let's open this up. Just click the 20 minutes. Woo! I don't want to steam up the camera, so let me just try to hold it back for a second. All right. Ooh. There it is. All right, let me look here. Oh yeah, it looks like it's okay. I think it's good. I'm gonna transfer this to a cookie sheet and we'll shred it in just a second. All right, so I removed all the pork and just put it on this pan here, and you can see, yeah, it's shredding nice. It's definitely cooked. And you know what? I had a little sample, and you know what? It's tasty. I like pulled pork. And yes, you know what? It is missing a little bit of that smoke flavor, but you know what? What can you say? You know, 6-8 hours versus 1 hour. So I can understand how, you know, this might be a good alternative for a lot of people. Or maybe you don't have a smoker. Maybe you live in an apartment. Maybe you're in a college dorm room. And you know what? You miss some of your old favorites from back home. And you know, this isn't going to be as good, but you know what? It's still delicious. And it's cheap and it's easy to make. You throw it all in. You saw how easy it was. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to continue to keep shredding this. I'm going to remove the big globs of fat, you know, that you find, because that's not nice. And I'll keep shredding it, and then I'm going to put it back in the pot, drain the original liquid that it cooked in. We're going to put this back in, and I'm just going to pour a little bit, the remainder of that bottle of barbecue sauce, stir it real good, and just put it on keep warm until we're ready to eat. So, yeah, man, you know what? Come on. Shredded pulled pork, cooked to this consistency in an hour? I mean, come on. How can you complain? All right, guys, there it is. I'm going to continue to shred this and remove the fat. Like I said, we'll be back in a little bit. All right, here we are. I shredded it up. Man, it is delicious. You know, like I said, it's missing a little something from the smoke, obviously, but you know what? I'm not a big fan of liquid smoke. I have used it in a couple rare instances in the past. But you know, maybe you could add a little bit to the Instant Pot just to maybe give it a little bit of that smoke flavor. And maybe even if you pre-smoked, maybe cold smoked the pork, like with a smoke tube for a couple hours, and then put it in the Instant Pot. I mean, it definitely has some possibilities for sure. I mean, just look. It's cooked perfectly. It really is. I mean, I can't complain. It's nice, it's juicy, and it is missing that that smoky goodness, but you know what? It's tender, it melts in your mouth. And you know, you got to consider this was cooked in a little over an hour. So, you know, for that alone, it's definitely worthwhile, I would say. Anyway, I'm going to add it back to the Instant Pot. I'm going to add the rest of that barbecue sauce. I'm going to stir it up, put it on keep warm. We'll be back in a minute. We'll make some pulled pork sandwiches. Be right back. All right, so here you are. I poured, there was only like a very small amount of barbecue sauce. Luckily, I bought 2 bottles. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I'm using Chris and Pitt's barbecue sauce. I really like it. It's not too sweet. It's tangy. It's a local place here in Southern California. So I'm going to pour a little bit in here. Maybe just about 1/4 of the bottle. We're going to stir this in real nice with this very tender shredded pork. And then I'm going to put it on warm, like I said. Kind of heat it up again. Yeah, I think I might add just a little bit more. You know, add as much or as little as you like. I don't want it too saucy, but it's just going to help all those flavors blend together. Stir it in real good. All right. I'll get this in the Instapot. We'll be back in a minute. Alright, so it's been on that keep warm setting for a while. Let's check it out. Ooh, looks great. Oh, it smells great. Just to kind of show you guys, man. Yeah, it's perfect. Okay. I'm going to make some pulled pork sandwiches. We made some fresh coleslaw. We'll get these made up on some buns. We'll be back in just a second. Alright, here we are. We're going to assemble a couple sandwiches here. There we go, some pulled pork. Man, that looks good. And like I said before, it's lacking a little bit in the smoky flavor, but for the convenience factor, getting it done in a little over an hour, not having to deal with charcoal and babysitting for 6 to 8 hours. You know what? I mean, you got to take that into account. So, you know, overall, busy family, you know, this is not how you want to cook it all the time, but in certain situations, hey, you know what? It'll work. Especially for a hungry family when you're busy and you're working all day. You can make this ahead of time and like freeze it in freezer bags and just like heat it up stovetop or sous vide. Put a little barbecue sauce and coleslaw, which we're going to do right now to set up these sandwiches. So like I said before, we're using some Chris and Pitt's barbecue sauce. Good stuff. Yep. Thinking Bellflower. I had a job for many years at Bellflower, and I used to go to lunch over at one of their restaurants, and yeah, they got a great steak there called the baseball cut. It's like a huge steak, but they got good ribs, and their sauce, I really like their sauce. It's not too sweet. So here's some homemade coleslaw we made earlier. Yeah. Coleslaw on top of a pulled pork sandwich, man, it's great. Oh. There we go. We'll be back in a second and see how these taste. Alright, here we are with my wife Monica.
Hey.
Made a couple of these. Let's slice.
Look at that.
Slice one in half.
That looks really good. And it really smells good.
Ooh.
But I'm kind of biased. I like Chris and Pitt's.
Right here, grab a. Here's a napkin for you. Whoops.
Oh, you know the way to my heart, don't you? Oh, all my stuff fell out.
Man, it's okay. Alright. Again, guys, thanks for watching my channel. Here's the ultimate taste test right here. You know what?
That's good.
It's actually
It's
actually really good. Wow. Way better than I expected. I was kind of like even debating to do this video because I like, okay, I don't know. Really, I'm gonna do pulled pork in Instapot. But to get these kind of results in an hour, really. And again, I understand people are going to be like, oh no, it's not the same thing. You're not smoking it. You're not barbecue. I mean, I understand all that. Sous vide, there's better ways to make it, to add more flavor. But this recipe for an hour, I mean, look, I mean.
It's like fast food at the end of a busy day, or
you got to take that into account, and because you're taking that into account, it lowers the bar. And you know what? This is acceptable. This is a good way if you're a busy, household. You don't have time to smoke it. Of course, you'll do that when you have the time. But you know what? Pork butts on sale, 99 cents a pound. You throw it in the Instapot.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone's eating. It's good. And like I said, you might experiment with like liquid smoke, maybe a little bit, whatever. Maybe you can make your own awesome recipe. As always, guys, I appreciate you watching my video. It's really good.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I might eat this over the next day, so I might have to make the one I put in the freezer tomorrow the same way, because, wow, this is really good. But anyway, guys, if you like the video, please hit the like button. Please consider subscribing, and I'll leave a link above to my website, ericsmokingbbq.com. And we'll see you next time. Thanks
Bye,
for
guys.
watching.